Tonight we're launching our coffee table book. It's a soft opening. Here we're developing until August the full book of my father's legacy, Tomas Cabili, who was senator and a sultan. Now this is the book. Here's the book.
Sir, ano po ang laman ng coffee table book na muna ito? Pwede po paki-explain sa ating mga manonood?
Basically, develop vision like years ahead of time, growing up in facing 21st century. This is an Iranian of Southeast Asia. Seeds of federalism in the 1935 Constitution. He became a colonel in a Moro guerrilla of the Philippines. Senator and Sultan Cabili in the context of Southeast Asia. Sultan Dibang Sankay continuing the father's legacy. Raja assuring continuity of the legacy. So this is his installment. During 1955. This is his monument in Iligan City. It states there what he has done for the Muslim brothers. So this is basically Lanao Lake, Marawi, Iligan, Southern Lanao del Sur. Yung Iran yun, yung bloodline daw namin galing dyan. Para siyang Viking of the East. Puro matatapang.
Mga warrior sila?
Warrior. Never surrender warrior. Karir niya, hindi siya pumirma dun sa Constitution na disadvantage sa mga brothers natin sa Muslim.
Panahon po ito ni President?
Panahon ito ni President, ano ito? 1935, First Congress.
First Congress pa.
Siya kasi naging 3-term congressman. So siya ay gumawa ng mga laws ng initial Republic of the Philippines. Tapos nagkagera. So naging ano siya, naging guerrilla siya noon. Pinoteksyahan niya from the Spanish takeover, American takeover, Japanese takeover. So ang kanyang vision was to bring back Republic of the Philippines. Kaya after the war, Commonwealth yung ano natin kay Quezon. Pero hindi po siya kontento nun. So dapat, sinuloy niya, naging senator siya. 3-term senator. So doon, naging national defense siya. So tinanggal niya yung mga masasamang mga tao sa gobyerno. Tapos, nilinis niya after cleaning up, binalik niya sa Republic of the Philippines noong June 12, 1945. So 1946-47, naging senator siya ulit. Tinapos na niya yung mga sa Senate, yung mga laws, mga bills. At least natapos niya yung vision niya for the whole of his life. So I would imagine na na-accomplish niya yung kailangan niya na nabalik niya yung Republic of the Philippines to the Filipinos.
Legacy.
Legacy na. When he was in the Senate. When he was a colonel from the U.S. Army. Pero binitawan niya ito para maging guerrilla. So, yun siya. Sabi niya si Pendatun. Senator din ito, eventually. Yung father ko, si Osmeña, taking niya ng national defense during Osmeña time. Swearing in. Tapos bestowal niya, Sultan. So, senator siya at isa Sultan. So, namana ko lang yung...
Sultan of what?
Ibang Sangkay.
Ibang Sangkay.
Basically, sa Lanao del Sur. Undivided Lanao siya sa Sultan. Kaya kasama yung si Saysay, sa plane crash sila noong 1957. Kasi ito na yung
bestowal po ninyo.
Bestowal namin.
August 2019.
16 sultans were present. So ito ni March 2019, March 17. Ang death anniversary niya. My three sons and a pop. In the future, who wants to be a sultan, ito kasi meron sa Kiram.
Pero yung mga gustong makabili ng kopya, saan po pwedeng makabili o
Pag nakumpleto namin yung book namin sa August, pwede na silang available na sa market.
Sa mga bookstore, sir?
Sa bookstore.
And then, nasa National Library din po ba yung kopya?
Magdo-donate kami sa National Library para sa legacy.
How many copies po ang nailimbag po ninyo ngayon?
Very few lang 100 copies lang. Ng mga ambassador, mga press people, senators, mga lawmakers.
Pero may plan po kayo na magpalimbag ulit na marami?
Oo, we will produce more. Very much more.
Sir Tom, ano po ang legacy na plano nyo na iiwan na ipamana sa inyong mga anak, sa mga apo?
Well, ang vision ko, since meron na tayo autonomous government, Bangsamoro, is to bring back the Middle East investment for our brothers in Mindanao.
Regarding po sa Sabah, ano po yung say ninyo tungkol doon? Kasi you're a sort of...
Sabah, yung Malaysia has to stay. And sila lang administrator ng Sabah natin. Pero ownership is far-fetched on their claim. So, they were just administering after the British colony had left Sabah to us. So sila lang nag-take over, they rented, so they're administering, parang administering the property.
Tama bang i-take back yun ng Philippines?
Oh, yeah. We don't need to take back. Kasi atin naman talaga yun. Sila lang nag-rent, sila lang nag-administer. So nothing more.
Kailan kaya may babalik sa atin yung Sabah? Sakali.
Well, hopefully, nag-usap si President BBM 2 days ago. Nandito yung Malaysia government. So I hope they have conscience on their minds.
Sir, aside from sentimental values, ano pa yung layunin natin bakit tayo nag-publish ng libro tungkol kay Sir?
We want to propagate whatever he has done Kasi imagine mo, 3-term congressman siya. Nag-legislate siya ng mga laws sa lower house. Kinokompleto niya yung mga laws ng Republic of the Philippines. Nagkagera in between. Bumalik siya as a senator. Tinapos siya sa upper house. So, on June 12, 1945, nagkaroon tayo ng independence. Naging Republic of the Philippines ulit. So, nakompleto yung vision niya. So, dapat makakuha tayo ng mga taong ganyan na nakakakumpleto ng vision.
Sige. Basically, to sow the seed of knowledge about your dad, the late senator.
Yeah.
Kasi when we talk about mag-say plain trust, hindi naman siya nababanggit.
Hindi naman bagay. Well, he's actually a kingmaker. I mean, he's much senior than all the politicians there. So, he just works and works and works, gives and gives and gives, but never take of things. That's him. But I know his work. From 3-term congressman to guerrilla, fighting for our country, the senator, bringing back. He's one of the 23 men who brought back the Republic of the Philippines. Sa monument ni Rizal, there's a small monument there. The 23 men who made the difference for the Philippines to become the Republic of the Philippines. Wala mga presidents na, puro mga hardworking people na naghirap para sa country natin. And they're all there. Is each one of them. I would say.
Sir Tom, meron ba kayong any message para sa inyong mga kababayan sa Sultan? Oh, Sir Princess.
Oh my God! Hello po! Hello po!
We shared about my partner was a 3-term congressman, became a guerrilla for the Muslim leader, and then became 3-term senator. So he brought back the Philippine Republic to the country. The other independence.
I look forward
Can we get a phone or I hear.
You join we have the blood of Iranian. They're like the Vikings of
Consul Despa. One of them. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
basta.
Yeah, thank you. Let me get one picture now. Sorry. Really, I'll just, hi. Here we go. Okay. Please come here. Maybe sa may battery na. Sige, okay. Closer, please, closer. Yeah, closer. Closer, please. And there you go. Closer.
As we strive to unite our neighboring Muslim countries with our country in this endeavor. Lastly, we praise and we thank you for the opportunity to serve and the opportunity to lead, to be of service to our different communities through our different advocacies for the benefit of our country as a whole. Amen.
And again, thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here this evening at the Aurelio Residences. My name is Consul Argil Decimo of Monaco, and I'm very proud to be standing here not only as your host, but also as the son-in-law of our Honorable Sultan Tomas Cabili Jr. And to all of our guests, I'd like to thank you for joining us here tonight, especially our friends from the media. Let's please give them a round of applause. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for your support. And our friends from the Tomas Cabili Peace Foundation. And of course, our His Royal Highness Tomas Luisma Cabili and the Royal House of Sultan Adis Mangkay Coronao. And tonight we are also very honored by the presence of our dignitaries who have joined us here this evening, especially our friends from the Embassy of Indonesia. Please welcome Councilor Avi Harahap. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much, Councilor, for joining us. And First Secretary Mila Tarigan, we are truly honored by your presence here tonight. And also from the Sultanate of Salu, we are honored by the presence of His Excellency Datu Sajat, my good friend Kevin Randolph Carion Lim Hongko, Amir Banar of Sulu. Where is Datu Kevin? Datu Kevin is here.
Right here.
We are also joined tonight by from the Sultanate of Lanao, His Excellency Attorney Nasser Mamsar, Commissioner of the National Amnesty Commission, Office of the President. A round of applause, please, for the good Attorney Nasser. Thank you for joining us here tonight, sir. We also have His Excellency Datu Nasrodin Dianalan of Gumba, Marawi City. Thank you for joining us tonight, Datu Nasrodin. Datu, thank you for joining us here tonight as well. And we have the Honorable Datu Amanding Ismail of Rogan, Puna Bayabao. Where is Datu? Datu, thank you much for joining us here. And we also are honored by the presence of the First Lady of the Senate, the wife of Senator Mick Zubiri, First Lady Aubrey Tan Zubiri. Thank you so much for joining us here as well to celebrate this occasion. And lastly, I would like to thank our good friends from the Aurelia residence, Sean Robinson's Properties, which we are using here tonight for this truly lovely venue. And thank you so much for the food. It's a great night to celebrate, to relive, and to remember the legacy of a great public servant. And what I am truly inspired by here tonight is that not many of you might know his achievements in the Senate and what he's also done for our Islamic brethren. But tonight you will discover more about the story. And what makes it significant tonight is that tonight is the birth anniversary of Senator Tomas Cabili Sr. For those who don't know, Senator and Sultan Tomas Cabili Sr. was the lead of championing the cause of the marginalized people in the Philippines. You might not find it here in your history books, but you will find it more about it tonight. He is touted by the Maranaos as Sultan de Masangkay Coronao. He was the only delegate who stood in the first National Assembly of the Philippines, and he refused to sign the 1935 Constitution, which failed to provide adequate protection for our Muslim brothers. And Senator Cabili Sr. never wavered in his conviction, and his bold decision has truly cemented his place in history. His years as an assemblyman, senator, and sultan are all marked by his people-first mentality. He was one of the most revered successors of our beloved people's president, Ramon Magsaysay. It's truly unfortunate that we lost both President Magsaysay and Senator Cabili in a tragic plane accident many years ago, which was a national tragedy for all of us. But right now, we will celebrate the memory of Senator Tomas Cabili Sr. and how his life and his achievements have truly provided a positive impact for our country and for our Muslim brethren. His efforts are now memorialized through the establishment of the Tomas Cabili Peace Foundation. And tonight, as we celebrate the life and the coffee table book dedicated to the good Senator and Sultan, we have here as well the establishment of the Tomas Cabili Peace Foundation and the release of his upcoming coffee table book, aptly titled His Royal Highness Tomas Luisma Cabili and the Royal House of Sultan Adi Masangkay Coronao. And to help us better understand exactly how important the position he is as a Sultan of Adi Masangkay Coronao, may I please welcome a good friend of the family, the resident historian of the Philippine Muslim Teacher College Institute of Iranon Studies. May I please welcome our good friend, Nasir Sharif. Nasir, please join us here. Round of applause, please, for Sir Nasir over here.
Good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sir Nasir, before we start off with tonight's introduction of exactly how important or how significant the Sultanate is, can you tell us a bit more, what exactly do you mean by, for those of us who are Manila-based, or for those who might not be too familiar, what do they mean by Iranon Studies, and how important is it that you were sort of like the place which holds all the database of our Muslim history here in the Philippines?
The database of the Muslims in the Philippines are actually put in the Salsila. This Salsila is guarded by our elders. In fact, I've been to the National Museum 2 days ago, and they are asking me if they could have some original copies, and it's very hard to ask these people. You really have to spend months and months with them before they allow you to glimpse into the details of this Salsila or the genealogies.
And what exactly do you mean by Iranon, for those who are not familiar with the term Iranon?
Okay, the Iranon have been dubbed by the West as the Vikings of the East. If you are familiar with the Vikings of the Europe, the Vikings of the East are the Iranon. The Iranon has put their business in the streets of Taiwan, in the Pingo Islands, in the Orchid Islands. They've established business also in India, and they have gone as far as Madagascar, off the coast of Africa. And lately, I have been informed by the Iranons of Tampasok in Sabah that there are also Iranons in Australia before this, even before the Europeans came to Asia.
That's fantastic. So right now, we're not only learning about the history of the Sultanate, but we're also hearing the history really of the Iranons here in the whole region.
Of which the late Tomas Cabili is a proud progeny of the Iranons.
Thank you so much. So Nasir, the floor is yours. Please help us better appreciate the importance of the Sultanate and Sultan Luisma Cabili Sr.
Yes. Unfortunately, my PowerPoint doesn't work with the screen, so I have to read it from here. Now, Tomas Luisma Cabili is a rare bird in Philippine politics because he is true to himself, and in his blood are the bloods of the Syrian Arab, the Spanish blood, the Visayas, the Malay, the Iranon, the Maranao, and even the Higaonon. So he's an ideal go-between the Muslims and the Christians. He tried to harmonize the Muslims and the Christians. He was born in 1903 when the Americans took over Lanao, because they say that we have purchased the Philippines from Spain, so we have to govern you. And come to think of it, the Maranaos have never heard of Paris, the Treaty of Paris, nor have they heard of any Europeans called the French. So there was a war then. At the time when Tomas Cabili was only 2 years old, and he grew up to become proficient in the culture of the Maranaos and as well as in the English curriculum of the Americans. This is the twin influence of his life, and he carried with it. And he was also private to all the happenstances, the problems of the Moros. That's why in the 1935 Constitution, he did not sign it. Out of the 202 delegates, he did not sign it, and they thought that he was something like a, how do you say that, it's very odd for him not to sign it. I mean, he should have signed it, but he stand firm for his principle and the convictions that the rights of the Muslims and other indigenous people in the Philippines have little been considered. We have to remember that at the time, there is a very great lobby of Manuel L. Quezon in the U.S. Congress. And even after the 1935 Constitution, when the United States was about to grant independence to the Philippines, there was even a movement, the Beacon Bell, in which to defer the annexation of the Philippines of the Moro provinces. But this was quashed again by the lobby of Manuel L. Quezon. Another one, there is another bill also which proposed that the Moro provinces should be incorporated as one of the states of the United States. Again, it was quashed. And in fact, the people of Dansalan, the people of Sulu, the people of Maguindanao, they all lobbied that they must stay under the American occupation because they don't trust the other Filipinos. And you know, Tomas Cabili, in his last speech after the 1935, the closing of the 1935 convention, he said, "Dear Senate President, if you allow this unitary, that means the non-federal government here in the Philippines, there will be war in Mindanao." And the result is, we know it, 200,000 people have been killed and more than 1 million displaced. And for Cabili, even after he was defeated in the 1935 Constitution, even if his advocacies were not followed, he still worked for his people. Many say that he was also the one who advocated the what we call now the local government units. The barangay that we have now is actually a creation of Cabili, because he has fought 3 bills, the Barrio Council, and that is very telling on his far-reaching ideas about what is the Philippines is to become. Now here we are in the 21st century. Is Tomas Cabili still relevant to us? Yes, of course. You have to remember that right now Indonesia is transferring its capital from Jakarta to East Kalimantan. East Kalimantan is just a stone's throw away from Tawi-Tawi, and all the developments are from their areas. And in fact, Mindanao is dubbed also as the last frontier. We have to develop Mindanao, and this is the advocacy of the Sultan Tomas Reyes Cabili II. He said that I want to dedicate the last quarter of my life serving my people and serving all the people in the Mindanao, and this is his project. That's why he has also established the Tomas Cabili Foundation. And among the advocacies of the foundation is making better the life of the Filipino Muslims who are until now are marginalized. And this is, although there is, we have still some, improvements like what we have in the barn. There is still a lot of work to be done here. And hopefully with the bestowal of Cabili as the second Sultan, he will continue the work of his father. He will continue his advocacy, and he will visit more and more the people of Mindanao, and also to foster and improve so that their culture will be known in the world. And as I said, we have many Iranos here. For instance, I am very happy that we have the orchestra here, Razi Pahlavi, so that he can tell the Iranos, especially Pandikar, Minister Pandikar of Sabah, and the other members of the parliament who are Iranos, to take a look at Mindanao. And also we have here the Mel Bahar of Sulu, Dato Saja Kevin Limhoko, and he told me about his plan and his strategy of solving the impasse of the Sabah situation. There are still so many things to do in Mindanao. I have to lately in the newspaper we have the impasse about the Spratly Islands. No Filipino can tell me what is the real name of the Spratlys. It's only the Iranon who can name them. It's called Solawan, and the Iranos have been traversing this even before the Chinese. The Chinese are actually not seafaring people. It's the Austronesians actually who went to Taiwan and many other things. I have a lot of things going on. We put up this.
Sir Nasser, just I want to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Senator Mark Villar. Senator Mark, thank you so much for joining us. A round of applause, please.
Welcome.
For the good Senator. Thank you for your presence and for joining us in this appreciation night. Sir Nasser, just in case, we're very proud of the achievements of Senator Tomas Cabili Sr. Can you also explain a bit more about as the Sultanate that was given to him, because many people are a bit confused about how does it work, especially the Manila-based people listening for the first time.
The title is Sultan di Masangkay Coronao. That means a sultan without peer. That means he has no equal. He's a sultan in Iran without peer. You know, because Sultan Cabili was dubbed Tumbaga sa Makadar, ang manok sa makadiling. That means he never gave up on his advocacies. And the Maranos actually love him so much that they say that he would have been. In fact, Alice Reyes, the founder of the Awit Awards, she wrote rather in her column, Through the Looking Glass, she said that he could have been the first Mindanao president before Rodrigo Roa Duterte, had he not died that fateful plane crash. And maybe we will have a second president in the name of our very guest today. So thank you very much. We put up this 60-page. The Cabilis actually, they asked me to do this very quickly. Although very quickly, I think we did, as you will find in the brochure, we did a very good job about it. I'm not trying to please myself up, but we did a very good job in the very short time that we put it, because we were trying to beat the 120-year anniversary of the birth of the late Sultan Tomas Cabili. And thank you for coming.
Before Sir Nasser, before I let you go, just one more thing. So we know that the late Sultan Tomas Bismarck Cabili Sr. was the last Sultan. So after that one, can you explain to us right now, my father knows here right now, Tomas Cabili Jr. technically is the junior. What is the title? How did it pass on from the senior to the next of kin?
It has been, as far as I know, 65 years that the title has been hibernating. Actually, people had almost already forgotten it, except for the octogenarian, I mean the people who are in their 80s and in their 90s. And they reminded your father-in-law, Sultan Tomas Reyes Cabili, that since nobody is taking this, he might as well take the mantle so that people will not forget the good deeds of the late Tomas Cabili. And also they will not forget his bloodline, because he is descended from Uato, Balindong in Lanao del Sur, and also from Dato Tumidao in the lowlands of Basak area. So he is every bit Maranao, and every bit Cebuano, and every bit Spanish, and every bit a Syrian Arab.
That's right. And Sir Nasser, just to let people know, before you're able to take the position, it's not just something that is granted to you. The Sultanate, you have to be deserving to be able to secure the title, to have it passed on to him.
Yeah, to be passed on to the title, you have to convene the 16 royal houses, and we were able to convince them. And for the first time, the 16 royal houses were united, because usually the house is divided. But when it comes to the ascending of Tomas Reyes Cabili as the second Sultan, they were all unanimous, and even the 32 the judges, the House of Parliament in Lanao del Sur, they acceded to that, and they approved him unanimously, and even the Federal Sultanate of Lanao and many other sultans, they all agree wholeheartedly. This is the first time that 100% have voted in favor of Sultan Tomas Reyes Cabili to ascend to the title of his father.
Again, thank you so much, Sir Nasser Sharif. What a great way for us to be able to better understand the Sultanate and, of course, the achievements of the late Senator Tomas Cabili Sr. If our friends from the media would like to ask more questions, this is our resident. You don't need Google anymore to research the history of Interludes or Mindanao. Please feel free to approach Sir Nasser Sharif. He will be the one to educate Google for you.
My answer will not be in the Google.
Again, sir, thank you so much for this one. And we will hear from him later on a bit. We can have some questions. Please feel free to approach him directly.
Any questions? Anything?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank Mr. Nasser Sharif joining us all the way from the Philippine Muslim Teacher College Institute of Iranian Studies. And with that, dear guests, I would like to introduce a self-made entrepreneur who was crowned as the second Sultan de Masangkay Coronao by the 16 royal houses of Lanao del Sur. He is currently the president of the Way to Happiness Philippines Foundation, which focuses on values and ethics formation, especially among different government agencies, LGUs, and NGOs, and with the PNP, DND, and the military. And he's also a special envoy of the Consulate of Montenegro to the Philippines. But most importantly, he's truly honored to be the son of Senator and Sultan Tomas Cabili Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, mga kaibigan, a round of applause, please, to His Royal Highness Tomas Cabili Jr.
Thank you, RJ. Okay, what can I say? I won't read this. I'll just be spontaneous now. Well, what can I say about my father? He delivered the Republic of the Philippines back to where we are. From the start, he was a three-termer congressman. So he wrote the legislation and completed the legislation before the war broke out in World War II. In 1942, sometime in that 45. So he was a guerrilla, fought the Japanese, American, and Spanish in Mindanao. They were both leaders. President Magsaysay was in the north of Luzon. He was a leader of the Hope Balahap. And my father was a leader in Mindanao, equivalent to MILF, MNLF. So both of them were killed by, not officially, but I think the U.S. government had something to do with it. But anyway, going back to the war, after the war, there was our president was Quezon, and we were under the American form of government at the time, and so he continued on to be a three-termer senator. Three-termer senator to complete his work, and he completed his work by bringing back the Republic of the Philippines back to the Filipinos after the war. and he became the National Defense Secretary during Osmania. So he can eliminate all the bad elements in the government, and I believe in him because he delivered his whole cycle in life before the plane crash happened with the president, along with the president in 1957. So I hope this book that we're doing will whoever who can contribute to the history of my father and to the Mindanao Iranian royalty, we welcome everyone to contribute to our books. And by the way, this is our pictures of my father. This is him, and he was being bestowed here in 1955, 2 years before he perished. And this is the grandfather of Cory Terino, who is also here. So it's good that they were all together at the time. And then he was a colonel during the American times, and but he went for a guerrilla position rather than the American colonel position at the time. So this is my father also with the President Magsaysay, and my father is there. Yeah. So our plans in Mindanao, I've been going. My father is there. Yeah. So our plans in Mindanao, I've been going from Manila to Dubai, Abu Dhabi. We've been consulting with the Middle East Parliament, and we've been lobbying for grants to the Philippines. As you know, there's only 65% of the grants go to Malaysia, 34% goes to Indonesia, 1% only goes to the Philippines. So I don't know why, but according to them, the 1% is not accountable. So they don't want to develop that avenue. So it's good we have a Bangsamoro now. The Bangsamoro, we have a new type of autonomous government in Mindanao, and with a couple of friends from the Middle East, we are trying to lobby and ask their help so that they can develop Mindanao again. This is our second chance, and it's about time I dedicate myself to lobby for our country, to continue the legacy of my father for now. So I hope everyone can relate to that, as we have friends from Malaysia who will help us receive to be accountable for the Philippine government, and hoping that Karim will send Senator Padilla the message. He can help us travel to the Middle East and help us out convince, the sheikhs and the sultanates. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. His Royal Highness Tomas Cabili and Royal House of Sultan of Yusumangkay Ko Ranao.